Well, what's happening? I got my doodad in. Obviously, it's hanging. Let's give it a shot and see how it works. I mean, it's gonna be shaky. I already know that, but there's not much that I can do about it. Unless maybe I can mount it. Let's try something. I don't know if that's gonna be any better or not. I kind of elevated it a little bit. Maybe we'll, as bumpy as Aiden's roads are, there's no telling of how shaky it's gonna be. But I mean, like I said, I'm not expecting a whole lot for $3. You know what I'm saying? And I will give a product review on it. That may be part of today's video. I mean, I don't know, and I've got quite a bit of shit to do yet when I get home. One for sure being that one of the guys at work told me that it might be in my best interest to take those two heating units apart and get the parts out of them rather than just take them as whole, and plus it'll make them a little bit easier to work with as far as the weight. But I don't know. Some wind noise involved with that, but it can't be much different than me holding the phone. At least now it's a little bit safer because it's hands-free. Alright, watch out, birds. Watch out, birds. These birds have got some big ass cojones. They will sit right in front of sit in the middle of the road and watch you come at them and just sit there and like, hey, you're not gonna hit me, until squish. Then we have a dead birdie. Hey bud, how those going? John Deere dick. May end up raining again tonight, but it is what it is. It's the time of the year it's gonna happen. Alright, Mel Dick, gotta go a little bit faster than that, bud. Man, he looks like he just don't give a shit about nothing. But we're back at the workplace, so let's get this shit done and get the fuck out of here. happening? Just got off work and about to head to the house, I believe. I think it's getting ready to rain. Yep, it's coming. I don't know how much or for how long, but it's definitely coming. Might take a little ride, just a little tiny ride around, and see if I can eyeball any metals. Plus, too, I figured now that I'm off work, I could do a little bit more better. Yeah, a little bit more better test on this camera mount. Definitely about time to shave again. I know that. Man, that thing right there was just tacky. It was like, you know, I'm not the kind of person that sits here and talks bad about people's rides and shit. But when you have a vehicle and you decide to do any kind of custom work to it, you should take heed to what you decide to do, because some of that shit actually can look like shit. I don't know what year model. It looked like a Nissan Altima. I don't know what year it was, but whomever decided that it would be cool to paint around the Nissan emblem purple when the factory color is black. Now, yeah, I understand that it's, you know, custom and shit, but I mean, Barney purple. Then had the Dorito rims on it at across this intersection. Yeah, the Dorito rims look just like Doritos. They're like a triangle style rim, and they don't look all that grand. Then on another note, even with the rims being on the car, I don't know how many of them was missing center caps. And I mean, you know, come on, that's just a little tacky. I've had a vehicle that was missing the center caps, but it's only because all four was missing, you know, and it looked better without the caps than it did with them. But on that particular vehicle, the style of wheel, it didn't look good, especially on that kind of wheel. Something else I was going to talk about too. I can't remember what it was right this second. I keep looking up to try to see how much time I got. I don't want to burn up a whole lot of time on just bullshit. So I go and I drop this customer's car off. She had a 2015 Ford Expedition, and she had one of our loaners or whatever. But like I said, you know, we've got like 5 or 6 loaner cars that if someone buys a vehicle and they need some work done to it or whatever, and it's going to take a while, they can get a loaner and drive it until, you know, theirs is fixed. So I go and I take it to her and drop it off. No big deal. The car that I happened to get in was, I don't know, maybe a shit. It had to have been at least a 13 or 14 model Fusion. And, well, needless to say that, you know, I like the titanium edition. It's got bigger wheels on it and tires. I think it comes factory with like 19s. Depending on the rim style you get with your package. But smaller wheels on that car, the front end just don't handle quite right. And it seems like it's got a little bit of a slop to it. I could be wrong. It could be just me. I don't know. Oh shit. I got something planted in that field right there. I don't know what it is. Might be corn. Something else I was going to talk about too, and I can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was now. The only thing that I got at the moment is, you know, when you go and you work in a place and you've worked there for many years, no matter what your position is, no matter how much money you make, none of that shit matters when you sit there and you talk shit to your fellow co-workers. You get upset about your job, even though that's what you're hired to do. But then you get upset not only about the job as far as having to do stuff, you get upset at the fact that when somebody calls you out on your bullshit and you obviously aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, it promotes a problem. And you know, when then somebody goes and does an interview for someone else to potentially fill your spot, it's a point in time when you got to decide whether you want to keep being, you know, shitty about what you're doing and not doing your job, or step up to the plate and do it, and, you know, do what you're supposed to do. Every job comes with its good and bad, no matter what it is, no matter where it is. And of course, you know, you can't change someone who's always constantly got a negative attitude to begin with. You know, I go into work every day in a good mood. And depending on what happens during that particular day will justify whether or not it's going to continue being good. I'll turn in here. Let people get off my damn ass. It seems like, I mean, that's another thing I could talk about too. But as far as the job is concerned, do your job. You know, every job is going to bring you a little bit of bullshit, and you've got to deal with it. I deal with it every day. And you know, it ain't that I hate my job. I just hate the pay that I'm getting paid to do it. And I told the boys today when they were talking about, you know, just random stupid shit we were talking about. I sit here and I tell them, you know, look, hey, each one of you guys makes more than I do. So what if the four of you, 3 technicians and the detailer that I work with, I tell them, hey, you know, how about you guys pay me $100 each every week? getting paid, then I feel like I've made some. And we're talking like $800. That'd be lovely. That'd be $1,600 every 2 weeks. Can't complain with that. I've worked so many bullshit jobs in the past that, you know, it comes to a point in time when you've got to say, okay, well, am I going to continue doing these bullshit jobs, or am I going to find something worth doing? Well, at one point in time, I was doing something worth doing, which was the job I had before this one. And, you know, I was driving a forklift. And forklift operators can make pretty good money. I, unfortunately, did not. I was only making, well, it was 5 cents shy of $10 an hour. And, you know, I'm looking for like $12, $13 an hour. Some of them guys even make up to $16 an hour. So yeah, you do the math on that one. And I'm really more or less just talking rather than actually looking for metal. Like I said, you know, sometimes you just want to get away and do a little bit of riding around to clear your mind, and then plus, you know, I needed to test this thing out while I was doing it, so why not kill a couple birds with one stone? Hey, what's going on, fellas? Oh, Lord. But my time is coming up anyway, as far as you know, I've already asked after my first 30 days at where I'm working, you know, about getting hired on as a company man rather than a temp. Well, you know, here it is. It's about, let's see, 7 months later, 6 months. Anyway, needless to say, I've been there a year, coming up soon, and I think it's about time to make a move. You know what I mean? I mean, the temp service was supposed to ask for me if he was planning on hiring me or whatever as far as a company man. And you know, the girl told me, oh well, you know, blah 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 blah, I'll call you back when I find out something. If I got that phone call, I'm Rick James.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
I called them back like a week thereafter. Oh, we're still waiting. Waiting for what? You know? I mean, how long does it take for someone to make a decision or to pick up the phone and call somebody? The girl simply sat right there and told me that she thought that it would be better for her to have called rather than myself, because she seems to think that the clientele would take more, you know, appreciation and whatever else to hire somebody. You know, they put more thought into it. Whereas if I were to go and ask, I may get told to go fuck off. Well, you know, here it is. It's been 2 weeks now. Still haven't had no phone call, and I'm still a temp. So it comes to a point in time when you have to ask yourself, okay, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I mean, how much more shit does one have to put up with before he can get told, oh yeah, you got the job, or no, you don't have the job? You know, so that's the reason why I'm going to go and have a chat with him, give or take around the, well, it's whatever day the between the 20th and 22nd. I don't know what days they fall on right this very second. But I'm gonna call them again first before I go and talk to them. And if they give me some shit about, oh well, you know, we still haven't found out anything, that's when I'm just gonna say, well, you know what, that's fine. I'll go and talk to them myself. You guys have wasted, you might as well say by that time we'll end up have been 3 weeks. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is, but I mean, shit's got to change. I mean, you know, here it is that I'm making, the guy that I work with, I kid you not, sat here and he told me, even though he gets child support taken out of his check every week, he told me that he clears roughly about $500 a week. That would be absolutely fine with me, you know? Because I wouldn't know what it would be like to, let's see, it's, well, $2,000 a month. I wouldn't know what that's like. I've never worked a job where I've made $500 a week. I'm 34 fucking years old. Now, how's it that an educated, good work history, or work ethic, can't seem to find something? Because I don't have no real special skills or anything, but I'm not trying to get myself into a situation where I would be having to damn work to make commission just in order to get some money. I want the shit to be paid, you know, either a salary pay job or about an hour. I don't want to deal with that commission bullshit. And believe me, I've had job offers that did that, and one of them was for working for Greenville Toyota. The man told me that basically it would be $10 per sale on an individual or customer's car, whatever you want to call the person, to patch a crack in the windshield. We're across this intersection now. But I mean, you know, come on. You're talking $10 if I was to sell a patch for a crack. You know, a cracked windshield. Like a little tiny crack. So that means I'd have to ask each and individual customer, or better yet, go and look at their car, see how bad the crack was, and justify whether or not it could be fixed by my method, or if the windshield would end up having to be replaced. Now, you know, that's all fine and good, but to me, I think that that type of job would be for someone who was fresh out of school, or still in school but looking like a, you know, wanting to have a job part-time school wasn't their forte and chose to do otherwise. Well, doing that type of gig would be your meal ticket, and you'd be good to go then. But I mean, I'm a grown ass man, and I'm not knocking anybody who does fast food jobs or works part-time or any of that shit. You do what you got to do, and you make your hustle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to break you down for whatever it is you do, because I know what it's like. It's hard. It's real damn hard. And it don't get no easier. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. Life is a bitch. You got your good days, you got your bad days. When I first started working, I was helping my uncle, and he was a plumber, and I was only about, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, I think. It was a good, experience, but he didn't pay me nothing. Not really. Nothing extravagant. Thereafter, let's see, 15 years old, we had moved to a little town, much like where I stay now, and I had gotten basically like a part-time job because I was out of school. This was during the time that my mom had gotten cancer, and I was trying to help her out. Well, if I wanted in school, I chose to work, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. But so I started learning body work at this place. Now, at first I was just going up there hanging around because I like hanging out in garages. I love cars. I love learning about shit that involves working on cars. And, well, not necessarily cars, but anything, And plus, it was a good atmosphere to get my mind out of the gutter. And normally when you hear somebody talking about mind in the gutter, you instantaneously think sex. Well, sex wasn't on my mind. Making a living was. Learning was. Women was not. So I learned a little bit there. Got my driver's license. Oh, Jesus. I'm pretty damn sure the microphone called that. Yes, I need door pins for my driver door. I hit bad bumps like that, it rattles the shit out of it. But anyway, we ended up moving from there, and then I started working at this car wash. very little to nothing money. Yeah, that was a guy on a scooter. I did it, I think, for about 2 years. Long enough for the man who owned it. He owned the car wash and an old restaurant that used to be in Rocky Mountain at one point in time called, Western Sizzling. And he ended up selling the car wash first to a company called Autobell. And you know, it transitioned from being just a basic garden variety car wash job to being a lot of fucking politics involved. And the pay didn't get any better. It stayed the same, actually. Well, I then found myself working at a Nissan dealership detailing. I didn't stay there very long due to the fact that we were moving. So I can't talk shit about that place. Then, at some point in time, I don't remember when or how old I was, I did work at Hardy's restaurant. Which, if you're from up north and you watch, you know, you're subscribed to me or whatever, Hardy's is tied into Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is like the northern version of Hardy's, which is the southern version. And I don't know if they have either one out west. I know it's a north and a south, east coast type deal. But yeah, I worked a fast food gig for a very little bit of time, and what I was doing, it actually, you know, the bread and material that they use for their chicken made me sick as a dog. Man, I just told them, hey, look, I can't do this shit. I mean, I was honest. It ain't that I didn't want to learn. It ain't that I didn't care about the job. It's just that, hey, you know, if it's gonna involve me feeling like I'm gonna fucking puke and making me sick in my stomach all the time, then it's time to motivate and you know, do other shit. Other than that, let's see. I left from the Nissan dealership because I moved. I worked at a car auction long enough to actually establish myself from just being a driver to actually going and transporting, as far as picking up cars and dropping off cars and that sort of shit. What else? The temp service that I'm with now got me the job at the Pepsi place I was working at, but I was there for 9 years. 9 years, and I only made $9.95 an hour. Yep. A little less than, I want to say it was around 25 grand a year. Which ain't shit. If you're not making at least, if you're not into the at least, you know, 30,000 and up range, you're screwing yourself, you know. And right now I'm screwing myself. I'm I'm not in that range. Now, if I were to get hired on as a company man, and he'd give me that $500 a week type deal, then I would be, I think, just right there. I haven't done the math on it, but I mean, you figure, let's see, 4 weeks in a month, $500 a week, that's $2,000. 12 months, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So yeah, I mean, still it would be about, well, no, something ain't quite right with my math on that, because I was right at like 25 or so when I worked at a Pepsi place, or at least I think I was. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I think actually getting $500 a week would be more per year than getting paid bi-weekly at about $600. So you're only looking at about $350 a week. So yeah, it would definitely be better off for me to get on where I'm at. Which, I mean, they're going to end up having to do something anyway. Our man that drives the rollback and the wrecker and shit, he's 75 fucking years old. 76. Well, getting ready to be 76. I think he may be 76. But I mean, the man is gonna eventually get tired and want to damn quit doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? At least I know I would. Oh, dick. I can't see a fucking thing. This is the only thing I hate about it after it's rained and the sun is still out. Now, if there was a cloud that would come get in front of the sun, it would be 10 times better. But the highways and the roads and shit, when they get wet, they get a reflection. And it's like the sunlight intensifies, especially when you're trying to drive and see where the hell you're going. I can't believe, even with me doing as much riding around as I've done, I've not spotted nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that is very, 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 wow, unusual. Bit of damn editing on this video. Lord Jesus. Well, I think after I turn down this road, I'm gonna turn down right here in a minute. We'll get to the house and we'll do a quick review on this phone holder and well, phone / GPS holder. And then we'll just conclude. We'll call it a day. But I mean, I'm gonna keep it going until I get home. Oh shit! Light turned green. I wasn't paying attention. I was sleeping. If it had been a race, I'd have lost. need to look at the weather map and see what the rain is looking like. If it's gonna get crappy tonight, I'm gonna have to put the truck in the shop. And I know that it may seem silly to some people that I put, a truck that's not painted, basically half-ass done on the inside, into a metal building to just protect it. Now think about what I just said. Is it really just that silly? I don't think so. But we're at the homestead. I think I'll go in and get me a bite to eat or whatever, and then we'll conclude today's shit. Well, I only got about 11 minutes and 30 some seconds left before this video right here will be, as far as record time. So I'm gonna try to make everything as quick as possible. This here is the item that I purchased. It doesn't have a specific name. I got it off of eBay for like $3, and it's just got the suction cup with the little trigger or whatever. If you can see when I hit the trigger, it pulled it in. I don't know how well. Yeah, but anyway, it's 360 degrees as far as the rotation, and the clamp here itself, if I can get my hand on it right, the red part is like a rubber type cushion, and it's supposed to be up to a 5-inch device, whether it be phone or MP3 player, or GPS. And what else? Is there anything else about it that's specific? I don't think so. But for $3 I can't complain. And like I said, once I watch the video, which I'm sure it'll end up turning out good after I got adjusted right. It sticks to the windshield very well. I mean, I have like 40 plus minutes of it doing that or whatever. But it is what it is. If it should break or whatever, I'm not going to feel bad about it because I didn't pay a lot for it. Not everything that you buy cheap on eBay is going to be crap. That thing right there may last me 6 years, and it may be the best $3 I ever spent. Who knows? I will put a link in the description for the seller, and if you're interested in it, then by all means, hook them up. So, no name, made in China, $3. It's like $2 and some change. So I just rounded it off to $3. I'm sure you've wasted $3 on much worse. As far as what I think about the particular item, as far as a review is concerned, well, it's not. I'm not even going to give it. I'm not giving it a full review because I haven't watched the footage yet, so I don't know how well it did record. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it did good. My only advice is that if you were to mount it to your windshield, we'll use it for example. Say my hand is the windshield. When you mount it to the windshield, try to make sure that your phone, however tall your phone is as up and as close to the headliner as possible. Unless you would rather have your phone facing you like directly in the face on the windshield, which then would be blocking your view. and you might get in some shit over that with the Popo if he sees it. Mine, the way it was mounted, almost looked as if like it was a tuning system, you know, or a small GPS, an MP3 player, whatever. That's pretty much it. If I had to give it a rating, score as of right now, without me watching the video, 10 being extremely freaking great and 1 being a pile of shit, I'd have to give it about an 8. And the reason why I say that is because the material is ABS plastic, but it's got just a little bit of play, like right in this joint right here. So, with a good amount of pressure on it, you may end up actually breaking it, or perhaps stripping out or breaking the ball clean off in its socket or whatever. But it was brand new, and it was just in it was in a plastic bag inside of another plastic bag inside of a brown envelope. That's how it should be shipped to you if you do purchase it. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention was the push mower did extremely well. My mom used it earlier today, and she didn't have any complaints other than the fact that it, once it got to a point where she thought that it may be out of gas, the idle sped up a little bit, and then it finally just died. That's normal. But if it had died, prematurely with fuel in it, then we'd be back to square one again. So right now it's good to go, and that's great. You might as well subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. And until tomorrow, stay groovy.